back to the channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys the house in Florida that we stayed at for the most part. We did do some traveling and I did stay in a few other little places, but it was just hotels and nothing spectacular. This house was so nice. 15 minutes or so where it was situated from Welland Park, and that's where we were able to do, you know, some groceries, and it was just really nice. Of course, my Dunkin', that was our local coffee shop, so that was what we basically drank if we weren't making anything at home. So yeah, I'm going to take you around so you can see the house, and then I'm also going to show you what are some of the staple meals that I have been having while I've been away, because you have to, you know, try to eat as similar as you would when you're back home. At least for me, I try to go to the grocery store and get a lot of the things that I was used to getting, and that way, you know, my meals are pretty simple, really easy, really quick and easy to put together, but also I was comfortable with the nutrition factor in each meal. So let me just take you along and show you this beautiful house. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Thank you for being here again this week. So I'm going to give you a little tour of the house that I stayed in for 2 weeks while I was in Florida. I was in different parts of Florida, but this is the area that I stayed in the longest, and this was in the Sarasota area, and it was super nice, a really nice house, a really nice neighborhood, and wonderful neighbors that were so friendly. So the house was very open concept, and like most Florida houses are, it was all one level, which I really appreciate and like. Now being back home into my house with 3 levels and all the stairs, I really appreciate this whole layout, honestly. It was just really nice and spacious, really nicely decorated. This family room was really large. They had a really nice rug. You can stretch out and put a yoga mat out. You can do exercise there. I found it a really nice layout. So they also had fans to circulate the air, but of course there was AC in the house. They also had a little nook here that you can sit and, you know, just relax in. I use this nook a lot. So I sat here and read, and I also had my morning coffee there every single day. And of course, she added a lot of really cute accessories like seashells and a lot of beautiful paintings on the wall. So this neighborhood was pretty quiet, and that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to be away from all the hustle and bustle of downtown Sarasota. So it was really nice. I found that everyone was super friendly, at least in this pocket, like so nice. So it was about, like, I would say 30 minutes to Sarasota. I found this was the perfect distance because we were like 15 minutes to Welland Park in the West Villages to have our coffee and do our shopping. And we just were in a very quiet little zone, which I really appreciated. And honestly, every neighbor as you walk outside is waving to you. In cars, they wave to you. On the street, they wave to you. They say hello. Everyone is so friendly. I could not believe it. So one of the bedrooms was in a like kind of dark blue. I think they were both kind of a similar blue, a little bit darker, but because there's a lot of windows, it was fine. It looked nice and bright. And yeah, every room had a TV, which was kind of handy, a smart TV in case, you know, you wanted to stream something. Lots of closet space to put all your things away, and drawers. So it was really nice. You didn't have to have your luggage everywhere. Yeah, and all the decor was so pretty. All of the bedspreads in the bedrooms, all of the, you know, beautiful artwork on the walls, everything flowed so well. It was so clean and so upkept. Again, it was just all those little details that she thought of that looked really nice. So in this bedroom was also blue, very, you know, clean and tidy. Also another huge closet for extra space and a lot of extra linens, a lot of extra towels, just a lot of stuff that you would need for everyday life. Honestly, this host was fantastic. She thought of everything. And look at the details even on the little cabinet. How cute. So there is 2 washrooms in this house, which is really nice. So one of them is right off the main hallway in between the 2 bedrooms. And yeah, it was just a fully functional bathroom. It wasn't like, you know, upgraded to the 9s, but it had everything we needed, and it was in very good condition. So yeah, that was the main washroom. They also had a lot of extra, see when I talk about details, a lot of extra bath mats, even in the closets in case you needed to change them out. She had extras, which I thought was so handy. So the other washroom is a much larger, and I really like how, again, going back to the details, she had a lot of towel racks so you can dry your towels or your bathing suits or whatever, because obviously you're there on holidays. So that was another really nice thing. I also really enjoyed all of the artwork everywhere and all of the decor, because every time I looked around, I noticed something different. So she really had it decorated super nice. The bathroom was just very, very nice, and again, very clean and upkept. Then the other bedroom that I really, really liked was the biggest bedroom, and again, lots of storage space. These drawers were absolutely massive. There was no need to keep your suitcases anywhere. You could put all your stuff away. There was a lot of really beautiful paintings in the room, and it was again decorated really nice, really beachy vibe, but it was just a very calming, serene kind of decorating. So yeah, very spacious, and again, a lot of natural light. So when you wake up, you already feel nature and the sun streaming in, and then it also goes right to the pool area from this bedroom. So the kitchen was pretty open spaced, which I really liked. And again, another door to outside. There are 3 sliding doors that will lead you to the outdoor pool area. The table was a really good size, and there was a lot of room, and again, a lot of natural light at the windows and more decor throughout the kitchen. There was a ton of space to put all the groceries away and just everything, so you didn't have to clutter up the countertops too much. Because I'm always washing things, I do typically have a lot of, cups and things like that on my counters. But honestly, if you were living in this house, you could definitely utilize all of the cupboards all the time and not have to have a ton of clutter everywhere. So I love when Airbnbs leave you coffee. A lot of them have Keurigs and leave you pods. I've been to a lot of Airbnbs in my day, so I can really tell you that these little things make a difference. And you don't want to have to go out to buy a million things as soon as you get there. So you have your coffee situation already ready for you, your tea. This coffee maker did die on me, but she did order a new one and it got delivered to the house. So I was super happy about that, because I didn't have to go without a coffee maker for the rest of the stay. So let's move on to outside. Outside was beautiful. I spent most of my time out here. I love how there's a dining table outside. We utilized that a lot. The pool was so nice. It wasn't super deep, which I really liked, so that way it's a little bit safer for children. And yeah, it was just super nice. It was very large, a very large area. There was a little, it's not a hot tub, it's like a spa is what they call it, so you could sit in there as well if you didn't want to go into the pool, and everything lights up at nighttime. But it's just really spacious, really nice. They had a little bonfire like area, obviously not a real fire, but it is kind of cozy, and we used it a couple of times, and that was really nice. Another great feature is the laundry room. Again, lots of storage and a lot of cleaning supplies. They had a ton of cleaning supplies, so if you wanted to clean up, you definitely could. So that was a really nice feature because we didn't have to come home with dirty clothes. We were able to wash everything. So outdoors was really cute. They had a little bench if you wanted to sit down on, a lot of welcome signs. It was decorated really cute out there. They had some aloe veras just welcoming you in to the house in little planters, and these cute little like river rocks decorating everything. The grass needed some love, but other than that, everything was really nice, and the plants in the backyard were really pretty as well. I got a lot of footage of them just because I really like seeing different plants depending on where you live. I'm the same way in Portugal. I love to take video and pictures of the plants. It's interesting to see what you can grow in different places. So for me, I love this sort of thing. So I do like to just connect with nature and be outdoors and see what's growing. So I really liked that aloe vera grows like pretty much everywhere in Florida. You see it like randomly on the side of the road. You see it in malls, like it's just everywhere and it grows in abundance. But it's just really nice to see what grows and, you know, thrives in certain climates. So I noticed that hibiscus grows really wild as well in Florida. A lot of people have huge hibiscus plants. And of course, lovely palm trees, so many different types of palm trees. Walking down the street would take me an hour and a half back and forth because it's about, I don't know, I would say almost 400 houses on a street. And yeah, it's amazing to see the different types of the palm trees because there are so many varieties, which I had no idea. The abundance of different types of palm trees. Also, because we traveled a lot in Florida, we did notice that different parts of Florida typically have a little bit more of a certain type of palm tree, which I thought was interesting and I didn't know before this trip. So if you look at Tampa, a lot of their palm trees are quite different than the ones you're going to see in Orlando, just decorating the highways and the streets, which I had no idea until I did this trip. So for breakfast, I tried to stay as staple as I could and what I would eat at home. So oats are something that I eat a lot of because they're really healthy and really nutritious. You're also packing in a lot of fiber in your breakfast and it keeps you full for a long time. And especially if you're on vacation and you're not going to be home for part of the day, you want to make sure that you start the day feeling full and satisfied, and that way you can go many hours without having your next meal. So I opted for mango, and I, basically just buy frozen fruit or fresh and mix up the fruits, so I'm getting more of a variety. And then I do have coffee in the morning, and this coffee maker ended up breaking, but she replaced it, thankfully. Like I said earlier, it was struggling, but I ended up making a coffee that morning, thankfully. And then I always have water, just plain filtered water, and then I also have one big container with my greens powder, and I drink that with water as well. So yeah, a lot of liquids in the morning just to hydrate myself. And yeah, and I don't eat right away, but after I'm up for at least a couple hours, I will opt to have my breakfast. So for lunch, like I said, I keep it very simple to how I eat at home. I just got tomatoes and I had leftover rice from another meal, brown rice, and I made some tomato soup. Why? Because it's a staple. It keeps me full. It keeps me satisfied. I feel really good after having a soup, especially tomato soup. You can get a lot of herbs in, which is really nice. So I put oregano and basil and a variety of other things. Of course, my garlic powder. So this house had basically every seasoning. It was fully stocked, and then I also bought a couple other things because I didn't know. Sometimes Airbnbs are fully stocked and other times they're not. but I was pleasantly surprised that they had everything that I needed. So yeah, it was really easy to cook at home. There was no fussing, and we didn't eat out that many times. And when we did, we made sure that it was actually worth it and not just a bunch of junk, but things that either A, we're not going to make at home, or B, very indulgent, because usually I go with very simple and easy and lower calorie meals. So at least for the most part, if we could cook at home and eat healthy, then it saves a lot of money and it also is so much better for you. So I love bulking it up with the brown rice because this is how you stay full. You have to put something in it. Potatoes or rice is what I recommend, and it was so delicious. So one of the things that I thought was really important was to still get out and get some movement in. So our street was huge and it took me like an hour and a half to go back and forth. That's great because it's a nice good walk. So I'd wait for the evening so it's not too hot, and I would literally just walk it down and back up again, or sometimes go on one of the other side streets. But movement is so important, and even though we were out and about and doing other things and still being active, I think it's still important to still get that walking in. So that's really vital to me, so I still kept that up while I was gone. Okay, so I'm going to make some black beans. I'm going to make 2 cans of these organic low sodium black beans. I'm just going to season them. I'm going to see what seasoning I have, but I did buy a taco seasoning just in case, so I can make a few meals with this. I have brown rice, and then I also have these beets because I'm going to do a salad with these. And then some salsa just to top our meal with, because I thought that would be nice. I just have the brown rice on. I'm going to bring it to a boil and then lower the heat and just get that cooking so that it can cook slowly. That's how I like to do it. I'm just doing it old school in a pot because obviously I don't have my pressure cooker. I think I'll just put these 2 in just because it's pretty staple. Then again, I need the salt, so that's why I'm using this. Otherwise, I would just use the regular garlic powder. Okay, so it's starting to boil, so I'm just going to give it a mix. I also have my beans in here. They've been rinsed. I left a tiny bit of liquid in one of the cans just to give it a better consistency and also help the seasoning stick. And it was just in water. Okay, so that's going to go on to heat up. And then this, I'm going to give it a mix. Okay, and then I'm going to lower that right down and cover it up. So it's literally at like 2. Okay, let's pop this one on and figure out, okay, it's this one. I'm going to start it high and then lower it a little bit. Okay, the house is smelling so good already, just from some simple meals. So when I am traveling, I just keep it very fuss-free. I just need to make sure that I'm getting enough protein in because of my age. And of course, I need extra fiber, so you can't go wrong with beans. Black beans are my absolute favorite, but I will rotate different beans during this, month being here in Florida. May is going to be filled of just some quick and easy meals, definitely, because being here, I don't have all the things I'm used to having at home, but I'm just going to do my best. So the beans are done. They don't take very long. It's just to heat them up, season them a little with whatever seasonings I have on hand, and I just use that taco seasoning, just a little sprinkle. All you need is a little. I'm going to make a lot of meals with it, and obviously I'm stocked with other seasonings. And then my rice is cooking up really well, as you can see. Just gonna give that a little while longer just because brown rice does take a little bit longer to cook, but it is definitely worth it because it keeps you full a long time. Okay, I ended up putting the whole can of beets. I just drained it. I think we're just gonna use the whole thing because it's not that much. And then, I have my salsa to top that off with because it's low in calorie and it's going to be very flavorful. And then, of course, the hummus, which is a little more indulgent. And this is an olive hummus, so definitely a special treat. I'm really excited about that. And that is going to be my dressing. So I'm not going to put anything else, just the beets and then a little bit of this. And that's good enough. We don't need anything else. If you wanted to put vinegar, I guess you could. But I'm just going to have it plain. Lots of healthy greens. This is a super greens mix, so really excited about that. This is baby greens, red and green Swiss chard, And we have tatsoi, which I'm not even sure what it is. Maybe we call it something else in Canada. Arugula and spinach. So super good. So this is going to be a little bit of a feast. I cannot wait. This is a great on the go, just a quick and easy meal.